Hey, it is Friday, August 25th, right here. This is Success Never Sleeps. I am Brannon Beliso. It's all about back to school, back to school, back to school. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, let's start by thanking our sponsors. As always, who do I love? Tucson, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, all companies that are visionaries, all companies that are innovative, all companies that genuinely care about the well-being of the school owners in our industry, small business owners, and it's really about that for me. It's about the relationship, it's about the love that goes into that. And everybody here I respect. And if you're not doing business with any of these people, you need to. They've had a huge impact on my businesses and helping me be disciplined to grow my wealth, to grow my businesses, sustain them through things like the pandemic. And they're always innovating. And I think when we talk about tech companies like Market Muscles, My Studio, that's really important. Most recently, and I want to share this one passion. Let me mute that because I'm getting messages coming in. You can hear me fine there, everybody? You can still hear me? I just muted the speaker, I believe, on my computer, but you can still hear me fine, right, Marco? Go ahead and pop that in there. I just don't want these notifications to be going bing, bing, bing. And so with that said, I think, for me, the biggest thing I recognize working with those companies, as I shared, is that I want to be a legacy business. I want to be a generational business. I want to be a business that lasts and has been here a long, long time. And it's so important for me in cultivating that business that I'm mindful of the moving parts that go into it. And as we get into back to school today, I'm going to share with you the things that we do and our philosophies more than anything. Because when the day's done, martial arts school is a martial arts school, right? A back to school program is a back to school program. A day camp is a day camp. But what separates you from the noise, from the pack, from everybody else is really the cultures that you create, the different experiences that you make that are memorable and different that people want to replicate again and again and again, right? I hope you're with me on that. As you come aboard, say hello. Tell me who you are, where you're tuning in from. I always love that. Love that. And in the interim, let's talk about what I got coming up. Everybody knows that It's Time Live Balance, right? That's happening on November 11th through 14th. And I want to thank Miss Monique Washington Jones for putting a little fire under my behind. And she said, we need to represent the women too. And I agree with her. So as you see, now we have Terry Lee joining us for It's Time Live Balance. And if you don't know who Terry Lee is, just Google her name. She is I'm going to call her a woman pioneer in the martial arts industry. If I had to come up with a tag for her, she is a woman pioneer in the martial arts industry. Why? She opened up a school in 1988. And in the words of James Brown, it's a man's world, especially in the martial arts industry. And I would even say so the majority until today, with a handful of exceptions of the women in the martial arts industry that are movers and shakers and doing amazing things. It's still a man's world. I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything that's not well known, but what she's done is she has 800 active students today, and she's pretty much semi-retired. Her kids run that business, but she's created this sustainable business. And for me, that's what I look for. I am so big on creating sustainable businesses at this point. It's easy to be great for a day, hard to be great for a week, harder to be great for, let's say, year after year after year after year. But to do what Terry Lee's done in the martial arts industry is just amazing to me, huge for me. So I think it's important for me to bring somebody in that's going to offer philosophies and strategies that are going to benefit women today. But to be able to do what she's done at such a time, adversity for women in the martial arts starting back in 1988, I think makes Terry Lee special and unique in everything that she does. So I look forward to her being here. And as you come aboard, say hello. I'd love to see who's here today, who's hanging out with us. Of course, you can watch this recording after at YouTube. And as you are here, share it with as many people as you can. So where are you going to be? You're going to be at It's Time Live Balance. We only take 20 people for the 4-day experience. And those of you coming, Terry Lee's going to spend 4 days with us. That's right. So it's going to be amazing just to be able to go on a meditative walk with her or sit at dinner with her, right? Or sit next to her and pick her brain. What a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and life experience to help you create your version of success. Cool? All right. So what do we got going on today? Everything is about back to school, right? Everybody's so excited about back to school. Back to school. That's the big buzz I've been hearing for the past month now from a lot of people. Now, with that said, good afternoon. Who is there? I see good afternoon, sir. You guys got to put your picture, fix that, Facebook user. So with that said, I'm going to challenge you right away because I can't tell you how many schools are going, I can't wait for that rush of back to school. I can't wait for that rush for back to school. I can't wait for that rush. They're the same contingency that will sit there in December going, I can't wait for January. I can't wait for January. I can't wait for January. So for me, it's indicative of two things. One, your business needs to be stable enough to survive the ups and downs, right? It's going to do this. We had it happen. What happened in June? We lost, 40 after schoolers right away in Millbrae. Plus, we're a pretty well-off community. People will take 3 months off. And when you go from that, you see this huge dip and you can't survive it, then for me, I would challenge you infrastructure-wise. The infrastructure of your business should already be accounting for things like the downturn that happens during the summer and all of that. So whether it's doing this in your business, right? Back to school, summer, winter break, it's dropping all those different things. I would love to see a business that is at least at the minimum, no matter what's going on, generating enough revenue to do several things. One, take care of all of your business expenses. Two, take care of all of your personal expenses. And three, being able to save, right? You need to save money for your retirement. So those are the three things I look for in the health of our business. I want to make sure, again, what are they? We can cover personal expenses, business expenses, and save for retirement, right? Those are the absolute bare bottom that need to happen. Then, of course, vacations, remodels, different things like that. So I want you to ask yourself that question, no matter what's happening in the economy, no matter what's happening seasonally in your business, back to school, summer, and otherwise, can you take care of those essentials? Business, personal, retirement. Can you take care of those three things? Think about it and put it in the comments. Hey, what's up, Conrad? Because I have people I know that are concerned they can't make their rent come July. So the other thing strategically I would encourage people to have in place, which is something I'm very passionate about, save for a rainy day. Save for a rainy day. And that requires a discipline. It requires a discipline. Right now, our country has the highest level of credit card debt ever, ever, ever. Credit cards are not a great way to spend money because you're going to pay interest rates on them. You absolutely will, right? And you could run around and balance transfer from one card to another, but sometimes there's a fee, right? Oh, I'm going to go with the zero balance, the zero interest credit card for 18 months. Yeah, but pay attention to the fine print. There's normally a balance transfer fee when you transfer that balance over. You just have to decide, is the balance transfer fee less, and I'm going to save more money over the 18, 24 months of no finance charges, right? So pay attention to that. Hey, what's up, Miss Monique? What's up, Ms. Monique? So assess that. Because you know me, if you've ever worked with me, the big thing I do first is I assess the health of your business, the infrastructure of your business. Is it everything in place, system-wise, infrastructure-wise, everything to support not only sustainability and growth, but be able to support your business when things are not so good. Those are the three legs. Those are always, I'm looking at that, expanding upon that. To sustain my business, to grow my business, and to maintain my business when things are really, really rough. Write down those three things. And what does this have to do with back to school? Everything. Because I can't tell you how many people were simply, waiting it out for the end of August to come around, back to school to come around, so they can take a collective breath and be grateful, right? If my summers aren't happening, I want to be vacationing. I want to be spending more time with the kids. I want to be, working on my garden and different things like that. I don't want to be sweating bullets. Will I make rent in July? How can I deal with this exodus of students that happens every freaking summer? Okay. And then for us, I think what else shores that up is summer camps. We did 10 weeks at both locations. Now, we're not freaking nuts. We don't sit there and take this attitude that so many of schools do, which I don't advocate for, where they go cheap. I know some day camps out there are $99 a week. That's freaking insane. But they go for volume. 100 kids. The most I got 100 kids at $200. Well, I have 36 kids at $400 an average per week. High end 450. Do the math, right? Do the math. So I'd rather have 36 kids at $400 a week than have 200 kids at $100 a week. So think about that. So we shore up our summers with several things, right? And number one is day camps. Day camps are huge for us. So the whatever we lack financially, we make for up with day camp. We also take early registration for after school. The fact that we run a boutique after school program only in Millbrae with no more than 36 kids, we have a pretty good resource to fill that camp. Right now, I think we're at 25. And as the weeks wane on, we'll end up close to 36. We are a premium after school program. So for us, right, people were going to book the Boys and Girls Club first. They're going to go into the park and rec first. Why? It's cheap. So, I would encourage you, if possible, to get away from that concept, right? Anybody can help you grow your summer day camp if it's cheap, right? It's cheap. People are there because you're cheap. That's it. It's not because it's of great value to them. First and foremost is because it is cheap. Cool? So, again, culturally, I'm a martial arts school first. So I don't want my school to be overran with after school or day camper because I think it really detracts from the culture of martial arts. It upsets the friends and family that are strictly involved in our martial arts program, which makes up 75% of our revenue. So I don't want to disrupt that. So be mindful of that. And that's why I think one of the things strategically during the summer, we do not change our schedule. I know a lot of people go to a modified schedule during the summer. That is not good for the culture that does not go on vacation, the culture that is only going to be gone for a week. They need to have the confidence and trust of the regular program. And if you go throwing wrenches into the system by changing up your program because the classes are smaller, not cool. We had some smaller classes at time this summer, but we didn't change it because that person counted on that 3:30 class. They counted. I hope you see that. Plus, revenue wise, it might dip a little bit with our schools, but we know that the camps are helping shore that up. Plus, my guys count on it. And if I'm going to start cutting my guys' hours because I'm removing a class for the summer, that's not a good day. It's just simply not. So everybody follow me, and that leads up to back to school. So what does back to school look like? Well, I think back to school, for us is to stop thinking about back to school. I know, right? You guys are thinking this guy's freaking nuts. But for us, I want a flow. There's a flow in our business, right? Visualize it. After school ends, day camp rolls in, day camp ends, after school rolls in, right? Everything's a flow. I don't want to see after school, summertime, after school. I don't want to see that in my business. We're a cash-based business, money in, money out. So I want to visualize and create not only a culture, but create programs and different things in place so that, again, my revenue stream is doing this, but the flow of my culture is also doing this. You with me? Give me your comments about that. Hey, Roy, what's happening? What's happening? Share your comments. What do you think about that? And then some schools will brilliantly save for that rainy day, store up that nest egg while things are really hot between January and June, and then be able to take a couple of months off during the summer, much like a high school teacher, right? A lot of those teachers don't get summer school. They don't have a job during the summer, but they're able to sustain themselves because they've saved their money so they can live on it during the summer. That's fine too. And you can do that as well. Again, that works fine for the smaller mom and pop martial arts school. But if you're going to tell my team that, you don't have work this summer because things drop off, I am not going to have a loyal employee. Now, to burn them out, having them do day camps is not a good day either. Why? Right, you got that 30-year-old rock star who just teaches martial arts, making great money. Now you want him to freaking take kids to the park and do it's not in his wheelhouse. If I want an elephant to fail, I'm going to ask him to climb a tree. As much as I love utility players that can drive the after school band, do day camps, run birthday parties, the whole 9 yards, I have to be mindful. Get the right person on the bus, get him in the right seat. So even this summer, I don't believe my martial arts instructors taught, the martial arts portion at all. We were using student black belts and things like that. So really think about that as well. Um, I want to flow. Flow is how you maintain the business through bad times. Flow is how I sustain my business, and flow is how I grow my business. Everybody with me? So think about your flow, because if it's always stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, that is not good for the health of your business. Why? Because it's not consistent. We need consistency in our business. I'm a huge advocate of consistency. I want consistency. I live by it because consistency breeds trust. I spoke to somebody the other day I hadn't spoken to in a long time. And she said, I'm really grateful you took my call. I didn't expect that. I said, why? She says, well, it was just me. I said, okay. She says, I know you're really busy now, and it's not like it was back in the day. But she said, the fact that you did take my call and I was able to reach out and text you at a heart level, I knew you'd return my call. That just continues the reason why I trust you so much. So I think that consistency is very, very important to not only keep you on the eyes and ears of your community, because if you disappear during the summer because business goes down, out of sight, out of mind, people are going to forget who you are. So again, summer events, we did all summer. Like we just signed up 2 after schoolers and 3 new students from our kindergarten meet and greets. Okay. We did kindergarten meet and greets a couple of weeks ago. Now, we didn't sell. We didn't do the scarcity, only 10 spots today if you sign up today. None of that. We just simply served the community with this amazing event. 2 after schoolers. What is that? $762 a month. There's what? $1,600 of revenue almost, right? We signed up 3 kids into the martial arts program at $259 a month. Do the math. Do the math. So we're looking at a revenue stream of about $2,500 instantly from doing this kindergarten meet and greet at the school, which endears us to the community, keeps us on the eyes and ears of the PTA, who now reaches out to us for these events, which led into them asking us to come to back to school night with a cotton candy machine. This goes on and on and on year round. Of course, during the summer, I spend money on being on all the different baseball fields, sponsoring the softball teams, little league teams. So we're always at the pulse. I always want to be on people's mind. I just took a banner 2nd year in a row on the football field at Mills High School. Now, people would say, why? How many teenagers do you get from that? We don't. But if you pay attention, because this banner is up year round, they do AYSO soccer on that all summer long, all year long. You know how many people run the track? I mean, you go sit there and that's all you do. And here's my philosophy of that, okay? Stay with me. When you buy a house or you want to open a business, the first thing I do is go park my car there on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, on a Tuesday at 9 at night, right? On a Friday at 8 a.m. I want to make sure that house I'm buying is everything the neighborhood says it's supposed to be. You follow me? So it's the same thing here. All I did when someone said, hey, you want to buy a banner on Mills High School, for the football team? I said, well, let me think about that. I simply went over to Mills, sat there on a Saturday at 3, went for an AYSL soccer game. My kid was playing another day, on and on and on, to deduce that by co-branding with the Mills High School and having this banner there year round, which is directly in line where people walk from the parking lot to the field, that it was going to be advantageous. for the same reason why I want our name on the scoreboard on the main baseball field that we have here in Millbrae. You feel me? So those 2 kindergarten meet and greets were designed to do one thing and one thing only: for those parents to meet each other, build new relationships, ease the anxiety of their kids going back to school. So if I'm going to encourage one thing right now, you look up your PTAs, you invest in that relationship, and next summer you better do kindergarten meet and greets. You with me? All right. Now, this sounds kind of strange. People say, well, it's really hard to do buddy days and things of that nature during the summer because everybody's out of school. You're right. Everybody is out of school. It's really hard to hook up with your friends you normally hook up with that you see every day in school. But what we do during the summer is a family fun day, retention event. Why are these retention building events so important for us? So important for us. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you build a tribe of raving fans, as Seth Godin would say, those raving fans are going to tell other people and tell other people and tell other people. Now, it's often hard to measure the ROI. I know that, but stop it. I want you to rewire your brain right now. Get rid of the freaking ROI. The only time I'm looking at the ROI is when I'm looking at insights on my Facebook ads, how they're performing, right? So we know when to change up the ad. But other than that, there's a great Harvard review, was in the magazine, that metrics often get in the way of a business. And I want to know the health of my business. Don't get me wrong. But there was a saying, I didn't coin it: meaning before metrics. Meaning before metrics. That really know the meaning of why you do what you do and live from that. Be that. Be all about that. And of course, pay attention to your KPIs, right? But don't allow it to be the dominating factor that drives your culture. I could never do that. And from that, you create this more meaningful business. So, what is my ROI? Stay with me. What is my ROI on the family fun day? Well, imagine how many conversations when someone said, hey, let's get together for a play date on Saturday. Oh, no. We're going to One Martial Arts. Oh, what's that? What are you doing? Oh, they have a family fun day and it's really cool and blah, 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 blah. Same thing with the parents' night out. Oh, well, hey, let's go to a restaurant. No, we can't get a babysitter. What? We got this great hookup. One Martial Arts has this event, Parents' Night Out. Let's go check out the new restaurant. I'll sign up both our kids and they can go to One Martial Arts. Do we sell lessons at that event? No. But it's amazing human nature. I think people often feel guilty because they feel like the cat that ate the canary. And they go, I had a free babysitter all night, right? And we're able to go to this new restaurant with our friends. And wow, that's pretty freaking cool, right? And so they do. Just tell me, tell me about lessons. But again, the strategy when we do a parents' night out is to make sure in that last 15 minutes, when all the parents are coming to pick up the kids, what's happening? We're all on the mat collectively as a group. We're all talking about confidence. We're all talking about focus. We're all talking about family. They're earning badges right there. There's one of those Disney experiences, magic moments. They're all breaking boards. Can you see the logic in that? Just like I tell my team, part of our staff training in camp is all the parent sees is when the kid is dropped off and when the kid is picked up. I want Disney on both ends. When that kid's dropped off, music's playing, people are on the floor jumping around, happy, ready to see you, saying your name over the microphone. We're giving life skills sheets to the parents on day one to take home for the kid to earn it home with the badge. When they pick them up, their backpacks packed. They got arts in their hand. They got arts and craft project on their head. They're smiling, having fun, badges all over their camp t-shirt. It's that magical moment. It's the same thing here. The kindergarten meet and greets, going back to that for a moment, could be a huge miss. But throughout the whole after school, kindergarten meet and greet, stay with me now. Keep me on page, Markham. Through the whole kindergarten meet and greet, they're earning badges. A confidence badge to walk up to your new friend and say hello. So all the drills I design are geared towards them interacting, socializing, getting to know one another, and also subliminally, they're all earning these life skills badges, which positions us as a culture of life skills. They have never been to an environment when their kids earning badges. We do it at birthday parties. We do it in our booths. Never, never, ever, unless you're Boy Scout, Girl Scout, when is a kid ever earning life skills badges like that? They are not, let alone handing the parent to student parent discovery sheet. Okay, so kindergarten meet and greets. Write it down. How do I make that happen? That's always the big thing. How do I make that happen? Well, of course, you want to get in cahoots with the PTA. Done day. Done freaking day. You will never do that if you freaking keep walking in there in August in your uniform with a box of donuts going, "Hi, I know teachers, you're really working hard planning the school year and the syllabus. Here's some donuts courtesy of ABC Martial Arts." They know your motive. They know your ulterior motive. It's clear as day, right? And I'm not standing in the long line of PE teachers to be PE teacher of the day. Absolutely not, right? And if you're a brand new school owner and you're coming into a community and you want to compete with me in the school district, that's a bad day. That's a bad freaking day. You're going to be waiting in that line for a long, 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 long time. And I don't say that with ego. I say that with heartfelt commitment. You know who's my hero, my inspiration? My wife. This week alone, she was at Mills High School passing out textbooks. On the first day of my daughter's school, she was there at 7:45 giving out schedules to all the different kids on the first day. We have back to school night at one of the, I don't know, middle schools or something. My wife and another person is on the committee planning it. My wife sits on the Mills Sports Booster High School. They raise money for the sports programs. On and on and on. Are you with me? Nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. You can't just sit there and walk into a school and talk to the PTA and demand an audience. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. No, it's never ever worked that way. And you can cultivate it into a revenue stream. I did OLA and they paid me $1,500 to come in there and do 3 confidence building workshops back to back to back because they have to be age specific. So we did first through third, or first through second, third and fourth, and sixth through eighth or something, wherever that might be. Hey, Roy, can you recommend a company that does banners? You know, I would always go with somebody local, Roy. I mean, you can go online. There's so many now that are so inexpensive. But I like to bring that to a local business for do a little B2B. You know, especially if you have a brick and mortar store, Roy, if you have an office, you know, for your insurance company, your fiduciary, I would always want to do business to business, sir. Anytime I can do that, right? Like I'm looking for a new handyman to work on my home and both of the locations. I went through next door. I got 4 or 5 recommendations and I'm going to get somebody local. That's it. So, because a banner's a banner. That's it when the day's done, right? It's a vinyl banner with grommets in it. You're going to hang it somewhere. So that's not the thing. But anytime I can pour money back into the community that serves me, I'm going to do that, Roy. So my wife is my hero when it comes to those things. We just booked one of the confidence building workshops for one of our schools in the San Francisco location. Now, San Francisco is a different animal because it's very urban. So it's very compartmentalized and the community is not as strong because, you know, we're reaching a 3-mile radius in San Francisco, one borough to the next borough. People don't cross over. So we're mindful Facebook ads do really well in San Francisco, right? So anytime we can do anything in the community, we do so. So we focus a lot on the schools within a mile radius because again, somebody 2 miles away won't even come to us. It's amazing, but that's just the way it works, right? That's just the way that works. But we do have very strong relationships with several of the schools. And that's the big thing you want to do. I would pick, instead of trying buckshot and going, hey, can we run an ad or something lame like that? I would really, 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 really invest in 1 or 2 schools and impact them so deeply that they're reaching out to you going, how can we help you grow your business? Okay. So cotton candy machines are a big one. Those are getting booked now and they're in rotation. Back to school night, international food night, movie in the park. Every school. I spoke to my daughter's elementary school, which she's no longer in. She's in a middle school. And I'm on a, conversation basis with the principal. And I was simply there picking up after school kids. And I leaned in the office and say, "Hey, back to school, welcome everyone." And I talked to them a little bit, and then I sat there, and I got to take care of this project. There's an area where the after school kids would get picked up, and they had handwritten signs with markers. I'm not only going to make our sign, I'm going to make the signs for everybody. Kind of cool? Yes. I will spend a little bit of money and get really nice signs for all the after school programs so that they could put them up and display them. But I was able to lean in and talk to the principal and say, "Hey, even though Taya's not here at your school anymore, guess what? We're available. Tell us what you need." I told her about the confidence building workshop. I told her about, she knows about the cotton candy machine. And her reply was, "Hey, can you be here for International School Day?" I said, "Just reach out to Kim, my wife, and we'll get it booked." That's the level you want to be at. But did it start that way? No. But the problem is you. You go at it with that through the lens of salesmanship of what's my return on investment? This is a waste of my time. Why am I doing this? My wife stood in the white zone through both of my kids' elementary school career. And she's a legend for that because not a lot of people want to stand in that damn white zone and be chewed out by people that are parking illegally because they think they can just park their damn car there and walk in and get their kid, right? So it's legendary. And I watch my wife, her level of commitment to the school district is phenomenal. Phenomenal. We don't do that as much in San Francisco because, again, it's a different animal. But every opportunity that comes, we are there. We are there. And if I felt it was hurting us, I would let you know that. Right now, I think San Francisco's at 491 or 500, and Millbrae's 480, 490. So they're running neck and neck. But understand that. That's why when you work with these digital media companies and stuff, be mindful. Stock photos, stock scripts, stock videos. No freaking way. No freaking way. You cannot sit in your glass house in Manhattan and tell me how to market in Millbrae, California better than my wife can, better than I can. So if you work with a digital media company, be mindful that they should be asking you the right questions to help you create these custom type Facebook ads that are going to really help you connect emotionally with the community that you serve. So that's how you get in with the PTA. Volunteer, because there's three things that you can do. One, volunteer your services, right? And if you want to do PE teacher of the day, you freaking do PE teacher of the day. I think it's played out, and I think in many respects, it's extremely ineffective today, okay? I want to make sure that I'm getting into the hands of the parents. Now, when we do the confidence building, they all get a great handout, what they learned that day. They all earn a badge, whether it's focus, teamwork, anti-bullying, whatever, and they break a board. At that last school gig, I had 400 boards there, and everybody broke one, and they take that home proudly, right? So again, those types of events can be a huge miss, or they can be a huge hit. So instead of coming in and doing a bully workshop at a lot of these schools, I have a great book, The Adventures of Bray and Tay. And we go in as reader of the day. It's so easy to get booked to do reader of the day. It might mean you spend a whole day doing 3 kindergarten classes in the morning, taking a lunch break, and doing 3 kindergarten classes in the afternoon. But it's so much more impactful. You go in there and you read this book on focus, and it has some martial arts in it, right? You do a couple of focus drills that are non-aggressive. Everybody there earns a focus badge. They take home the student parent handout for focus, and there's a QR code on the back saying, "Thank you for allowing us to be reader of the day, courtesy of One Martial Arts," QR code. The reason I think I love the QR code so much nowadays is they're kind of like hieroglyphic. They're not plastered with 1999, 3 classes in a uniform. They really are just that, a QR code. And if you fill it with all this value about focus and anti-bullying and all this stuff on confidence, that parent's already enamored to what you did today. Now, you want to go a step further, like Jason Smith of Believe Martial Arts? He gives every kid an Adventures of Bray and Tay focus book. And on the back, boom, he slaps on his sticker with a QR code. Pretty big investment, one would think. But you only do these cool things once a year. Imagine if that kindergartner took home that book on focus and that parent was touching and feeling and reading it to their child. Whoa, value galore. Value galore. And then Jason even donates it to the elementary school library. What a win-win. I mean, just brilliance, right? And you're in one of your logo t-shirts or collared shirts, and it's so low barrier, non-aggressive. And you literally have them calling you once you've established that. And once you get the word out that you have a cotton candy machine and you donate it, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I think the hardest thing, and please put it in the comments, is you're so fixated on one way. What's October? Confidence, bullying, anti-bullying month. Do the confidence building, anti-bullying in your school, blah, 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 blah. That's my protest in silence. You should be doing confidence building in every freaking trial in your school. You should be doing anti-bullying in every trial that you do in your school. You should be doing confidence building workshops, at back to school, after spring break, all the time. You don't sit there and do a knee-jerk reaction. I saw this one, and I think it's extremely irresponsible. I'm going to call you guys out. There was, a very unfortunate, heinous mass shooting at an elementary school, right? So next thing I see, the school pops up, anti-shooter workshop for kids. And then I saw a video where he had all these kids holding red square targets, the ones we use for class. And this guy standing there with his gun, this potential mass shooter, and all these kids, this is supposed to simulate their backpack. They're all throwing their backpack at the shooter. Again, silent protest. Are you with me on that, people? Are you with me? That is probably the most irresponsible thing you could possibly teach a child in that situation. It simply is. But again, I don't do those workshops. Why? Because I am not an expert. So I do want to stay in my wheelhouse, but I also want to be extremely mindful, folks. What is it that I need to learn to enhance what we do? I think Melody Johnson and the study of child psychology is brilliant. You work with kids and you do nothing to study child psychology, that's just wrong. That's just, you don't think because you have a black belt that you're qualified to teach children. So I think Melody Johnson is an innovator, a disruptor in that field. And she inspired me, when I was Little Ninjas, a program she created decades ago that is brilliant and so disruptive at its time. I bought that program. I bought the rights to it. And I built my Excellent Kids program using elements of it because some of it is so brilliant, I can't do it any better. So I paid Melody Johnson for the rights to use them any way that I want, the Little Ninja program. You see, that was a good investment for me. And of course, it's morphed into my Excellent Kids program. So again, please, that's the same guy that's reaching out to me at the end of the month going, how do I get 10 new students? I need to make rent. That's just bad business. I would never make a business decision based upon scarcity and fear. Right? I would organically, from day one, cultivate an infrastructure in my business that will grow, that will sustain and maintain. I hope you got that, those of you who came on late. Everything is about maintaining your business through bad times, sustaining and growing it in good times, and maintaining it on those rough months like summertime. Those are the three things. And if I can do those three things, I have a legacy business. I can endure 9/11.com, mortgage crisis, pandemics, right? I can endure all of it. You with me? Okay, so we did what? Kindergarten meet and greets, get that cotton candy machine, reader of the day, right? Developing events that help retain your culture. Stop looking at every freaking event as a way to generate more leads because you cheapen the experience. Your families and friends will know it, and it's not genuine. When I can do a family fun day and it's nothing but our students, our families, you know how cool that is? Because you know how hard it is to find family friendly activities in today's world? How many people are going to take their kid to the trampoline place and be bouncing for an hour with their kids? No, they take their kids and a couple of their friends. The kids play and you just sit back there on your phone. I'm talking about focused events that engage the friends and families. You're better than that. What could you do right now? Conrad could do a respect event. Everything's about respect. So, learning how to answer your parents right away, respecting your body, they can exercise together, the kids and the parents doing different drills that promote physical fitness to respect their body. You could talk about nutrition for a minute, right? Respecting their mind, learning something new, and then you could learn a little bit about martial arts and then respecting their heart by doing things they love, like spending time with their family. That is a cultural event to promote the values of respect martial arts that's unlike anything in the community. And organically, what happens with that? People no longer buy into what you do. People believe in what you do. And Michael Gerber said that. I took a seminar with him a couple of weeks ago and it was just brilliant. Michael Gerber wrote E-Myth. He said, a customer will buy from you once. A client will buy from you again and again and again and again. And I've always lived by that philosophy. Always, always. Yeah, Conrad. And then people trip on me because I do the one, right? Respect your heart by doing the things you love. And in it, we do it at Family Fun Day. We do it at the kindergarten meet and greets. We do it every opportunity. We have them hug their parents, right? And they're hugging each other. Then we say, let's do a tickling hug. So they're tickling each other while they hug one another. Let's do a laughing hug. And they're hugging and laughing. Let's do a roll around on the floor hug. And they're doing that one, right? Did I say kissing hug? Yeah. Then we do a kissing hug. And people have looked at me like, you're freaking nuts. Martial arts school learners go, you're nuts. You're nuts. No, I'm not. Because it's part of respect. Respect your heart. Do what you love. I still hug my kids to this day. And then everybody earns what, Conrad? They earn the love badge. But in your case, after a respect workshop, everybody would get the respect badge and the student parent discovery sheet from a respect. And in the interim, as part of this event, guess what, Conrad? Anybody who colored the respect coloring sheet, we hang it up on the mirror. And at the end, we pick 3 winners. And they could get a month of martial arts. They could win a copy of my Adventures of Bray and Tay focus book. They could get a week of summer camp, whatever that might be. Because I've already captured the lead. They registered through my studio. So you ask for the pertinent information, it's there. And if they're an existing student and you add more value, Conrad, by, hey, I'm a kid that sits there and won a week of camp, that works for me all day, every day. Prime example. And this relationship was built over time. We have a mom who brought in 3 kids. They all did once a week. Serve, 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 serve. Next thing I look up, they have 4 cousins and 2 others. So there's a family of 10 here now. And it's a mix of people, a couple of different families, but they're all related. So we have 10 kids. They do birthday parties with us. They do day camps with us. 2 of the kids just enrolled in our after school program. They're paying $762 a month. And all these kids do 3 days a week. My God, the tens of thousands of dollars that these 3 families generate for us in a given year is just outrageous. It's just crazy. But here's the investment in the relationship, okay? 2 of the kids are in our after school program. So I said, I know your 2 sons are at the middle school and we don't have after school, but, if you want them to walk over after school and they can volunteer in the after school program and they can even leave their sparring gear here. Mom looked at me just like, wow, They invest in you, but you have to invest in them. And so when we talk about back to school, it's not a knee jerk. What are the 20 lead generating events I can do for you? No, that's not what this is about, folks. Tell me what this is about. Tell me what this is about. Put it in the comments. Go. Come on. And while we're waiting for that, please go ahead and share with them, Marco, what's coming up. It's Time Live Balance. Please, I'm encouraging you. If you want to make the best investment in yourself, you spend 4 days with us, you'll be blown away. And we got Terry Lee, we got Dave Kovar, who's owned schools for 40 years successfully to this day. The trainer of trainers, Sam On, a multimillionaire with 127 students, to show you another way to build wealth other than opening more schools. And Adam, I've grown to love this boy, and I work with his group closely through my wisdom program. We are creating innovative ads that are unlike anything. I am writing scripts with them. We're developing, shot sheets with them. We're doing something that's never been done, and it's working. And my schools are the example of that. I'm using my schools as a guinea pig to test these scripts, to test this copy. But make no mistake, we're going to leverage AI to see if it matches the data within the 3 to 5 mile radius of your school. That's brilliant too, because one size does not fit all, right? What I do in San Francisco, I would not tell you to do in Oklahoma. No freaking way. And that, I think, makes innovation in digital marketing. It's going to be the new frontier at a higher level. So nobody has any feedback on that? What is this all about? Yeah, it is about serving your best, Conrad, based upon your core values, based upon your brand, based upon how you want that community to see you. Because once I make a brand promise to my community, I must fulfill it. And if I don't, I lose that trust. They'll never do business with me again. People consistently ask us for that cotton candy machine. Next weekend, we have the Art and Wine Festival. We have a demo team. Tell me why that demo team is stocked with yellow belts. We have a couple of, upper belts in there, but the majority are all year one students. Tell me why. Marco, you're like this one. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. What movie is that from? Da-na-na-na-na-na. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Come on, Marco. I know I'm not singing it right, but you know where I'm going with that. So tell me why. And here's another example. Why is this demo team organically? We don't do a lot of demos, but why is this demo team at the Art and Wine Festival in the children's section, right? Strategically on Labor Day weekend. Go, go, go. Yeah, so they seem approachable. You got somebody doing 720 tornado kicks flying through the air. There is the wow factor, but no way in heck am I going to think my kid with zero confidence, right, may not be in the best of shape, they're an introvert, is ever going to be able to do that. You want an elephant to fail? Ask him to climb a tree. But if I could put real people up there doing real, martial arts and sharing, these kids have only been doing this 6 months. I, as a parent, could see the bridge between my kid at 0 months, never done martial arts, to where they could be in 6 months. That is a very realistic visual go. You with me on that? Anybody with me? Yeah. And I was criticized for that. They go, well, your students don't look very good. I had posted a video one year and I said, they've been training for 3 months. The better question is, do they look good for someone who's been there for 3 months? I'm waiting. See, but our ego says, I must be demo team. And we did that at one point. We had a demo team uniform. We had all of that. And you know what our return on investment was? 0. If you want to measure it that way, which I never would. So again, people, please hear what I'm saying with this. The type of innovation that I bring to the industry, the level of disruption, goes against the grain of everything. But if it worked, then the 9-10% of the industry that's making 90% of the wealth, it would be more even. It would be more even. Everybody would be making great money, not good money, great money. And if you're not pocketing anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 a year, then I would challenge your business model, the minimum. And that's with a school with 150 to 200 students, right? That's simple. So please look at these things and open your mind. That's really what this is all about today. Not 20 tips, right? That's simply the what everybody appeals to. 20 tips for back to school success. What the heck? You're better than that. And I'm going to challenge you, but you have to do the work. You've got to open your mind to that. So, reader of the day, kindergarten meet and greets, really getting close to the PTA. And it may not be you going to, hi, I have a martial arts school. Can I put this flyer into the folder? No. Hey, what can I do? I can serve. You need me for the, crab feed, and I'll work in the kitchen. Sure, I'll do that. And I'll wear my One Martial Arts t-shirt. Sure. I'll serve the pasta at the silent auction wearing my One Martial Arts t-shirt. Sure. You need our cotton candy machine? Oh, you heard about that? Sure. You want me to sponsor the back to school night? Absolutely. What do you need? Oh, you need 300 waters from Costco? Sure, I can do that. All of that adds up to your investment in the relationship, but it fundamentally requires you to think long term, think flow. Back to school, let's put a bunch of money. What can we do? Then you're gone. And that's, I think, the real huge problem, not only in our industry, but anybody that has services that serve children in these elementary schools. That's probably one of the biggest problem. Buffering. I'm not sure what that says. Mark, are we having issues with buffering? Maybe it's a different reference. So, I want you to think about that. Because, see, we've discussed it, my wife and I. She loves doing this schoolwork. So even though my kids aren't in elementary school, we're still going to give back to that elementary school. We're going to continue to give all the way through when my kids are gone off at college because it is part of our culture. It is not simply designed to get more students. And that's why, again, what do I live by? I don't want to lead. I don't want a trial. I don't want a student. I want relationships. And that requires me to be patient. That requires me to accept. I need to earn your trust. How many of you can walk into the principal's office at an elementary school and say hi? Go. There you go, right? So that was the huge mindset shift because every time I would take a seminar with some of these leaders in the industry and they would tell me to freaking do a Valentine's Day card, right, with an offer on it, I would just throw up. But I tried it and the return is very small because people can't help but look at it that way. They simply cannot. They can't. But if you genuinely care, right, and you're out there at 7:45 in a One Martial Arts hoodie substituting for the crossing guard because they called in sick and your wife told you to get out of bed and this is what you're doing today, and you're out there directing traffic going, yay, not knowing. And then you know what happened? Somebody posted at social media. Wow, here is the owner of One Martial Arts, Brannon Beliso, taking time out of his busy day to keep our children safe. If that does not create an emotional connection, I don't know what does. So that's my challenge to you now. Taking away from this, come up with at least 3 or 4 innovative new ways you can connect with your community to show them that you care. Not a one-off, not a freaking one-off. I'm talking about consistently. Because if you want to get in with the school system, which is a very hard thing to do, then you have to think differently. 2 analogies. And it makes school owners crazy. One asked me the other day, Professor, you speak in riddles. Why do you talk that way? Just give me the answer. No, I want you to be empowered by discovering the answers for you based upon your why, your culture, your community, right? It's got to be native to what you do. And it's got to create an emotional connection with moms within a 3 to 5 mile radius of where you live, right? Think about that. Think about that. Number 1, think like a farmer. You rototill the ground. You fertilize it. You pull the weeds. Do you have a crop yet? No. You make your rows, you plant your seeds, you cover them, you water them. Do you have crop yet? No. It sprouts into a sapling. Do you have crop yet? No. If you want to get a great expensive product like walnuts, I think it takes 7 years before a walnut tree is maturation to bear good walnuts. But after that, year in and year out, it produces an extremely high yielding crop. It's the same thing here. I was doing a back to school night, and there was the ring company, Jostens was there, an orthodontist was there, and somebody else. Next year, they're all gone. Why? Because they saw no ROI on doing that event. No ROI at all. That's the wrong way to look at it, folks. So if you're coming to me because you had a rough freaking summer, right? Because you didn't set up your business right, you didn't save for a rainy day, you didn't show up your revenue stream with day camps, that mindset needs to change now, right freaking now. And you need to become that type of thinker. It is not what your community can do for you. It's what you can do for your community, borrowing in the words of JFK. You with me? You with me? Have I driven this one home? Come on. You're better than that. You're better than that. And you're better than that. Give me 4 ways. DM me, post in the comments, and then we'll workshop it together and flush it out. 4 different events, 4 different things you could do to earn that trust in the community, where the PTA is calling you, where you can walk into the principal's office, where you are known in the community as a business that cares, that they know with all trust and confidence, they can come to you and ask you for your services, for your physical time, or a monetary donation. They know with confidence. Any of those 3 things they can come to you for, and you will fulfill it. That will only ever happen if you stop with the ROI and you stop looking at it. What's in it for me? Which for most martial arts schools are more leads, more students. And if that's the point, and that's the purpose, we will no longer have to do this show at back to school on giving you 20 tips on what to do now, to get back to school with new students. Never, ever again. All right, Marco, let's thank our sponsors. What do we got? We have Tucson, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids of Life Skills, LC Accounting. Amazing companies. They've all been here year after year after year. They're not some flash in the pan. They're not some fly-by-night. And they're going to be here. You need Kids Love Life Skills. We just signed a franchising deal with Ninja Tricks. We're supplying our character life skills to Ninja Tricks, which is the brainchild of Stephen Butts, who owns 3 schools, Martial Arts America, with 1,000 students. They tested out. They ran it through its paces. They love Kids Love Life Skills, and I'm proud to partner with Ninja Tricks. You need life skills. I think Kids Love Life Skills is it. Cool? All right. And where are we going to be? November 11th through 14th. If you're ready to really take your life and your business and school to a whole nother level, spend 4 days with me, Dave Kovar, Terry Lee, Sam On, and newcomer Adam Lodi. It's going to be unlike anything. I'm always trying to raise the bar and better what I do. And I believe we've really done it this time in a big way. Only 20 school owners, 4 days, make the investment. For the price of a cell phone, you can freaking spend 4 days with this talent and these people. Cool? Get signed up now. Go to brannonbeliso.com, look at the events, put it in there, Marco. I would appreciate you. I'm always grateful learning. Thank you, Roy. That's cool. And Roy has a fiduciary insurance company. I'm going to bring Roy on next Friday, everybody. Heads up on that, Marco, because you guys need to know what insurance you should be investing in. I know I've had Beth Block on, but what Roy does is so much more expansive, and we'll talk about some other products and things, but it is not going to be a sales fest. Not at all. And, I've known Roy, again, relationships. I've known Roy since high school. That's how far back we go. So we promise to get in there and just answer real questions, offer you real knowledge, and you do with it what you will, right? I went to the dentist yesterday, and I was pissed off, and I'm going to end with this. and I don't have dental insurance. Why? Because it makes no sense. What I would pay in insurance premiums for a family of four for dental, all we pay for is checkups and teeth cleaning and x-rays. That's all we ever really pay for. And that is minute compared to what you want me to pay in an insurance premium for dental. It makes no sense at all. Do I have medical insurance? You know I do. I pay $2,000 a month for Kaiser for me and my family. But I was in there yesterday and the woman said, "Oh, you have no insurance." And I don't know, maybe I was hearing it through the lens of a poor kid whose dad wouldn't even get Medi-Cal because he was too proud. And I looked at her and I let that one go. Then I sat in the doctor's chair and he goes, and he knows me and he just must have forgot because I had two implants, which are $5,000 a pop, which I pay for like that. And he goes, "Well, we have to fill out the insurance paperwork for this next procedure and it'll take 4 to 6 weeks. Here's the value of cash." I said, "No, I don't have dental insurance." He says, "Great, we can schedule you next week." What would take 4 to 6 weeks out to wait for, I can get done in a week. And then I went back out, and this woman said to me, again, in front of a room full of people in the waiting area, "Oh, you have no insurance." And I looked at her straight. I said, "I'm really offended by that comment. I believe the better question should be, how would you like to take care of this, sir?" And she just looked at me almost shocked, right? Because I'm self-employed. I get it. You're a freaking worker bee. You couldn't imagine not having dental insurance because you live by that illusion. I am self-employed. I've already thought this one out strategically, and it's better for me to simply pay these bills than to pay your insurance premium deductibles with dental insurance. But I was. So again, having Roy come out next week and help you understand what is the minimum insurance you need to have in life and what you should look for as a forward thinker into retirement and stuff could be a good conversation. So I invite you to be there. All right. I know this was a very heartfelt gig, maybe not what you expected today, but I hope you got a lot out of it. I am Brannon Beliso. Subscribe to my Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube, my podcast, Success Never Sleeps, Mindful Meditation. Make sure you're part of our disruptor group. And for everything else, go to brannonbeliso.com. This is Success Never Sleeps. I am who? Brannon Beliso. Thank you, Marco. I love you for holding down the back end. Until we talk again, folks, please go out there, live your best life.